has suffered from addiction. Some of us know people that weren't able to get help. For a long time, I was one of those people until I found Genesis Ministries. Genesis Ministries was founded by Dan and Judy Armstrong. The ministry was set in motion in 2005, and the first move was to Austin, Texas in 2007. They bought a ranch with 187 acres, complete with housing bunks. This was a perfect structure to begin to customize the program. Genesis Ministries provides an affordable rehab that tries to help people from every background with any problem, ranging from a confined teen to a drug-addicted adult. Today, I'm going to talk to you about this nonprofit, Christian-based rehab that houses teens and adults until they can gain control back over their lives. Now that I've given you a brief overview of this ministry, let's talk about how the ministry got started. Genesis Ministries started as a vision over 30 years ago, and now it is a dream come true. Started with Dan Armstrong's dream, the founder. He would have dreams of being in an open field, and he was always with children of different races, backgrounds. Just, you could tell there was just a range of different children. And he was playing with them and guiding them and taking them places and stuff. And it was just different variety of dreams over long occurrence of time. And then his wife would have dreams of cooking with kids and being in the kitchen. And it was almost like being at home, but in a different setting. I mean, you could tell that she was in a restaurant and everything. And at the time, she was actually cooking at the church they had a cafe, so she was assuming the dreams were tied in with all of that. And then Jenny's dream was helping people. Like, she was a nurse for all these children, and it was just a lot of kids, a lot of open area. Everybody had the open area in their dream. And then when they seen the ranch, they knew that that's where they were meant to be. Everything became clear. The dreams even made sense when they saw the ranch, and now it was time to perfect the program. The program was designed in the beginning and has been tested and undergone several changes to make sure it works best to everyone's advantage. In the beginning, when they moved to Austin, Texas, which was the first move, they had this girl, and she lived with the staff members. So when the program started, the teens or whoever was there would live with a staff member and different members of staff members' family, and they would rotate them with different ones. And this didn't work because each time they moved them, it was a different set of rules. This one would be okay with them doing this, and the other one they had to do this. So they had to modify that, and now the children live in dorms, or the teens, and the staff comes in and rotates, like taking shifts. And then when you actually get into the program, the first 30 days is a probation period where they kind of separate you from everybody. You can't have phone calls, you can't have any TV. No, if you're listening to music, it has to be Christian music and monitored by a staff member. So no mail, no reading material except the Bible. And it's a real reflection period. So the punishment for contraband or repeated offenses, it can range from, like, if you get caught with like a minor offense, you might have to do a little bit of extra cleaning, like in the kitchen. If the adults usually, while the kids are doing their school and stuff, the adults will clean the kitchen, but if you break the rules, you know, they have to find work for you to do, whether it's cutting wood, raking leaves, something like that. And then for the more major offenses, you can get put on a bland diet and just have such like boiled chicken, bland noodles. So, I mean, they really break you until you can get used to following rules again. And the basic rules, it's not the major, I mean, just common courtesy, no fighting, no cursing, compliance to staff, and completing the tasks that you're assigned. And the way it works is you wake up at 7 o'clock, do a 30-minute exercise, shower, and you meet down at the cafeteria for breakfast, where it's usually one morning you'll have fried eggs, the next morning you can have cereal or hot cereal and stuff like that. So then after that, like I said, the students branch off and they'll go into their classes and start their homework. And I was, at the end there, I was the only adult left in the program, So I'll cook anyway, so I took care of the kitchen and had to clean the mats and stoves, and then once I got all that done, I'd start to make sandwiches or whatever we were having for lunch that day. So by the time I finished that, it was already time for lunch. So after lunch, we would have like some chill down time, and then along with housing people who need rehabilitated, the ranch is actually also very active in other functions hosted at the ranch. Along with being a rehab, Genesis Ministries is also available for rent to retreats or gatherings, and they cook on Sundays for members of the church. Now the church is on the ranch, so before you would go to church on Sunday, they would have coffee and donuts and muffins and stuff laid out for people to, communicate and stuff before church. And then we would go down, it was maybe 30 feet away, and the church was right there, so we would go down and have church. And then when they were doing altar call and stuff, me and a few of the other staff members would go up and start to prepare, get everything put in the oven and start heating up. So we would have like pork tacos for Sunday, or chicken and dumplings, or a big pot of soup, chili, a lot of pulled pork because people would donate wild boar. So we have pork all the time. I don't eat it today. Along with housing people who need prayer, they have prayer after everybody eats lunch and everything. The kids will play together and stuff, and then most of the adults will go down to the church, and they just have like prayer in between there. The church is open for whatever. They'll pray with different members of the church if something's going on in the family and stuff. And in the church you have a band that does the praise and worship. Now all the band members are the director's family or other people that work on the ranch. So it's real cool. I mean, it's so much family. Everybody feels right at home when they come. So, and then when we host retreats and everything, like it was called the Great Oaks. That's where they would have the retreats go, and it's set up. It's got like probably 30 rooms in it, and it's got like 4 beds in each room, and so that's where they stay. And then they'll do their thing up there, and then we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner for them, and their breakfast would consist of like biscuits, sausage, and eggs, gravy, a nice breakfast. And then for lunch, they got a menu and they could pick from, and obviously there's different price ranges for different meals. And then as far as doing ministry outside of the ranch, we would feed the homeless. Like Austin, it was real cool to go to Austin, Texas, because they got this huge bridge, and it's almost like the bridge was designed for the people that live under there to at least stay dry and stuff, because they had like the rain guards so that it would pour off, and the hole underneath the bridge was dry. It was set up real nice, but I've never seen that many people in one spot that needed help. I mean, it was just like there was endless amounts of people. I've never seen that many people in one spot. So it was real cool getting to passing out jackets and passing out food. That was probably one of my favorite things to do there. And work in church aren't the only methods used to rehabilitate. Genesis Ministries is not a 12-step program. However, they use several effective methods that are more Christ-based, like deliverance prayer. The way they did that is like you would go and you would go with a staff member. Usually there was 2 of them, and you would talk about your past and different things that you've done and different things that you're addicted to, because you can be addicted to other stuff, not just drugs, obviously, and stuff that's just holding you down in your life. And then they pray over you about that, and it's supposed to like push it off of you and stuff. And then you go under a lot of intense counseling. Like you really dig through all of your past and go ahead and get it out. I think that's a lot of the getting better part, is letting all that go. Because once I let all my past go, it seemed more able to manage everything else. And self-control management, you got to learn a lot of that, because people are going to push your buttons there, especially when you're an adult and surrounded by a bunch of little teenagers that are going through their own thing anyway. It's hard, so you have your buttons pressed, and then you have reflection therapy, like how you dealt with your situation and way all that went. and what you could have changed, what you could have did different, what would have been better if you would have handled the situation that way, and the different outcomes that come along with that. And there was a few staff members I didn't mesh well with because I know what I know, and nobody can really change my opinion. So me and some of the staff clashed, but it was cool because you still got paired with them and everything. You still had to be with them, so you learn how to deal with different people and make the best of the situation. So that can really tell where you're at in your life too, and how you're going to handle different situations on the outside. On the ranch as well as in the real world, you're faced with challenges every day. How someone embraces the situation can tell how the person is rehabilitating. When reaching the final stages of the program, you're held to higher expectations, like doing what you're supposed to do on your own. And they give you enough space to react the way you would in the real world, or say enough rope to hang yourself. But basically, you take care of yourself and show that you can lead a productive life, and this will show how well you're going to transition back into the real world. And then for people that live in Texas, the children get to have home visits. I, however, left West Virginia and ran away to Texas so that I could get away from everything, so I didn't have visits home. But the longer or the better you're doing, you can stay at home for weeks as opposed to days. And then the next step is obviously release and then follow-up. So they'll give you a call and find out how you're doing. If you're a minor, they talk to your parents and see how all that's going. And if you start to stray back, I mean, you can always come back. So Genesis Ministry strives to keep everyone who's made it through the program on the right track by keeping in touch with them and holding them accountable. Genesis Ministry saved my life and has helped several others. This ministry takes people who need to be transformed from their past life and work with them until they've learned to make good choices and live a society-accepted life. You will not see Genesis Ministries on commercials or all over the internet, but if you know someone suffering from an addiction they can't beat, Genesis Ministries is only a phone call away.
Nice job.